The battle for the mountain is about to begin. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Total War Rise of Mordor. And today we are diving in with the battle of the 5 armies. Frangel is moving forward with his elite elven army ready to take on the dwarfs. However, in the distance, multiple shadows appear. An army of 15,000 troops head their way. Will the dwarfs and elves unite to defeat this greater threat, or will they fall to ruins? Oh my god, I'm giving myself goosebumps. But yeah, we are back playing some more Total War Rise of Mordor on the absolutely beautiful new update. We have the awesome ruined city of Dale off in the distance, and then obviously we have the mountain with the updated halls as well. This has been new and improved. It's pretty dark, but it is in the shadow of the mountain itself, and yeah, it looks awesome. They've done a great job of updating this, and yeah, it's really cool indeed. So yeah, let's take a look at the forces as the elves and dwarfs pretend that like they're gonna fight one another. We all know they are not. Off in the distance, we have an absolute just horde. You can see my FPS going down because there are so many enemies here. Don't worry though, it will be fine. Actually, we'll go on slow mode for this, as that does completely sort out most of the FPS issues. But as you can see, there's just, you know, an absolute army of soldiers moving forward. If we hover over the balance of power, you can see that the forces of Eagle, Dol Guldur and Mordor have 1,500 soldiers. The defenders have 6,000. That includes the dwarfs, the elves and the soldiers inside of the city itself. But yeah, you can see them. They are marching forward ready for battle. And honestly, 15,000 being outnumbered 3-1 is going to be a very uphill battle for the forces of good. And I think they're going to definitely struggle indeed at defeating just the sheer volume of soldiers. Is going to be a task and a half. So we have, what, 2 armies over here, I believe? Yeah, we have an entire army over here pushing onto the mountain. We have an entire army over here ready to push on the ruined city of Dale. You can see there are plenty of entrances in. They don't need any crazy trolls to go ahead and get inside of the city. And then we obviously also have another army out here, which is going to be reinforcing and making their way in. So really nice setup again. Big shout out to the guys who sent this in on my Discord. I really do appreciate it. And I always do enjoy these types of battles, especially the scenario ones, which are great. So I'm excited to see how this one does go down. So we're going to kick off with the forces of evil pushing up some of their Gold Ore blades into the city. Obviously, these are going to be the initial assaulting forces, ready to try and get in. You can see the awesome looking forces of Dol Guldur as well. I really do love the get up of this faction. Their armor does look very nice indeed. Definitely one of the newer factions to get a lot of love. They do look great as well. And also, as well as that, if you guys haven't seen the new Dwarven update as well, if you maybe haven't seen one of these ROM videos for a little while, you can now see the dwarves have got a complete overhaul of their roster, and they have about 6 or 7 different shock infantry units. They look absolutely amazing now. Definitely one of the best faction in the game. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think there's any competition. The new dwarves look absolutely just incredible. They really do in this new update. And yeah, as you can see, they've got, well, I think they literally do have one of the biggest rosters now in the entirety of the game. So you can see some more Dwarven Iron Guard here pushing up as well, ready to get themselves over, ready to form up that battle line and prepare to defend. You can see the line itself is forming as the forces do kind of split up. A big force making their way over to defeat the force at the mountain, and then some soldiers have been switched off to go ahead and continue their invasion of the city itself. As you can see, Esgroth as well has been, you know, pretty much burnt. Sorry, not Esgroth, but Dale has been pretty much burnt to the ground here. This is obviously in Smaug's ruin. There is also a version of this city as well. If you go ahead and play it at 0 destruction level, you can also see it basically in all its glory as well. I believe a lot of these settlements and walls are actually pretty safe and secure. So some arrow fire is being lobbed out here by the defending Bardings. They have a pretty good angle right now over the marketplace and into the enemy lines. Just obviously trying to repel any of the forces that are looking to come in. They're obviously just waiting. Again, this is a bit of a scenario battle, so there are probably some rules here and there about rules of engagement and other stuff along them lines. So if you do see, you know, soldiers just getting into position and stuff and not actually attacking right away, there's maybe probably a little bit of a rule that maybe they couldn't enter the walls for a little while. They just sort of skirmish. Generally, that is kind of the case. We also have some forces setting up here as the reinforcing army coming down from the mountain itself, looking to reinforce. And one of the nice things as well is if they wanted to, this army could actually, because this map is just so spectacular, this army could actually also just reinforce here as well. and just make their way inside of the city from this direction to really help out the defenders. However, defenders, the men of Dale, do have soldiers set up. We obviously have some Vineland Guard, also this is Lake Town Guard set up here, and then over here in the shadows as well, we do also have some shipmen that you guys can see looking pretty glorious as well. But it does seem like the forces are getting extremely close on the main battle line. I mean, look at that right now. That is one hell of a screenshot as the hordes of hell descend upon the Dwarven and Elven line. However, as you can see, they've got a pretty good setup. The Elves are finally arriving. A majority of their forces being left back to defend this bridge as the first blood is shed on this side. As we do have some Orc warriors, the forces of Mordor, throwing their lot in against these Elven warriors. I'm just going to say it now, I feel extremely bad for these Orc warriors. They are in no way equipped to deal with an elite Elven line like this. Also, if you haven't seen the new Rise of Mordor update as well, we did a lot of battle changes. So as you will see now, the elves themselves have a lot fewer men in their units, like a lot fewer men. And that really does play a big part in battle. You can see the Orcs have 225 soldiers, the elves only have 95. So in obviously in a choke point, they're going to absolutely do amazing. But in the open field, they're going to really struggle. Over on the other side as well, the Orcs have got very close. And now they're throwing themselves in against the Dwarven warriors now. And these aren't any easy soldiers. These are proper Dol heavy infantry ready to push in, and we obviously have to slow-mo. Actually, it's probably much better to come down from the other side as we have a city in the background. We'll go cinematic mode and we will just watch the Dwarven line hold. You can see the sergeant as well with that skull on his back as they just clash in against the Dwarven ranks. The elves are sitting in reserve, letting the dwarves take the brunt of the assault, but they will be coming into this battle momentarily, looking to reinforce. You can also see as well the dwarves do also have new facial structures, new skeletons, and also new beards, which is one of probably the most important updates that Rise of Mordor have done. I'll also take this time as well really quickly as the battle is underway to go ahead and tell you guys to make sure you check out the Rise of Mordor YouTube channel and Discord channel. They've been going ahead and posting a ton of dev diaries over on their YouTube channel, live streaming actual development of the campaign map they're working on and the other stuff, as well as concept art, 3D modeling, all that lovely stuff. So if you want to go and see how that stuff, how the cookie is made, then you can go and check that out. Let's go back onto normal speed now and zoom out, because I'm pretty interested to see how the assault on the city, if it has begun yet. It doesn't look like they've fully entered the city quite yet. Actually, no, I take that back. They have indeed, and the fighting is erupting. And as you'll be able to tell, is the the battle is a little bit laggy right now, but obviously there's so many soldiers. Then it's pretty smooth all of a sudden, so I take that back. The game obviously heard me. Attila heard me and was like, actually, Jackie, I got you, don't worry. But yeah, so obviously, the forces inside of the city are not adequate. They have set up some pretty nice ambush points here, though, with the javelins throwing their weapons into the side of the Goldor blades. However, more reinforcements are arriving, so we're going to find themselves in a bit of a tricky situation. Obviously, holding at every position they can. More of these shipmen under a lot of missile fire from the Orcs and Uruks there. And that's going to really be racking up some serious kills in the city. But as I was saying, obviously at some point we are going to be getting reinforcements from the elves. This elven army is going to be falling back inside of the city, I assume, to help the fishermen and, help retake that city and leave the dwarves to their fates. However, right now, as you can see, the elves and dwarves are fighting together tooth and nail, ready to defend this battlefield and keep the riches of the mountain away from the forces of evil. I imagine with them riches, they would be able to go ahead and bribe a lot of men to their cause. I mean, oh my god, look at that battle line. You guys know I am one for a thick old battle line, and this is definitely one just hordes upon hordes of enemy units. And if you guys are enjoying this, make sure you go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out the channel, boost me up in the algorithm, and when battles are as epic as this, you need to get them to be seen by as many people as possible. I mean, so far the elves and dwarves are doing a pretty good job. These Goldor blades, which the forces are good at fighting, are really no easy feat. They take them down very effectively, and I mean, oh my god, just look at that. And there's even more of them as well. Loads of javelins here, really trying to focus down this flank. They've got, what, like 3 units of javelins here, the Mirkwood Raiders. These guys are, very light armored skirmishers, stalking units. And right now, that Dwarven shield wall is holding. They have a 75 missile block chance, which is pretty high. But eventually, their numbers will start to drop down. And if they can get through this flank, they can obviously immediately get onto the Elven Archers, who are just volleying off shots after shots. One of the new things in the most recent update as well is that Archers shoot their ammunition a lot quicker in battles now. So, you know, especially elves who have a much higher reload speed as well. They'll get through their ammunition in a battle very easily, which makes archers super deadly now, because not only can they fire off all their ammunition, they can also move in. However, a charge? What the hell? Friendly charge here from Medallion Regiment, just knocking a few elves to the ground. They'll get back up, I think. They need to be a little careful there. Medallion Regiment now being sent in to try and hold the line. However, Dol Guldur are also sending in a horde of infantry as well to reinforce this. And it does seem like if we go over to the flank, the 5th army of the battle is actually being committed inside of the city right now. More forces being sent all the way around, with the servants of the ICAV actually taking up this capture point. We need to be careful. Obviously, right now, the Men of Dale are completely engaged. There is not really a single force that isn't, you know, stuck into combat. And you guys can see right here, I mean, that's pretty dark. But you guys can see from this direction, the forces themselves, you know, fully engaged. And these shipmen aren't really going to be able to take care of them under all this much pressure. Obviously, a reinforcement unit does come down, but under that, you know, weight of missile fire, and the also we got the Goldor Glaives as well. These guys, you know, they are losing this combat. Over on the other side as well, you can see that the Goldor Blades have come all the way around and actually enveloped these shipmen, so they definitely do not stand a chance there whatsoever. Reinforcements of this coming into the city through that bridge is not good. The main battle, though, is just raging on. And soldiers are relentlessly throwing their lives away. Have the dwarves themselves committed a lot of their shock infantry yet, or none? Doesn't look like the dwarves have committed pretty much any of their shock infantry. There's one unit right here, Warriors of the Red Mountain, who have been thrown in. You guys can really see the detail on their armor and also on their hammers. And this unit will be able to do some serious damage. This is one of the upper, more expensive units, I believe. Already up to 22 kills on that unit, with only losing 6 dwarfs, so a good 4-to-1 ratio. Or almost 4-to-1 ratio. We also have one of the generals of Dol Guldur being sent in as well, and that pressure is really coming in as well. More javelins. I think this flank is going to probably be the one that breaks. There is also a small gap, but I don't know if it can be exploited by the forces of evil. I'm sure they can if they want to. And yeah, this bridge point was completely abandoned. And there you go. The elves are having to be forced inside of the city right now. They are rushing back to this ruined city, looking to reinforce it with all they have. But obviously, if they do decide to abandon the battlefield outside, you know, these 3 units of infantry could be decisive. But obviously, losing a city is no option. If they lose that city, they are not going to be able to retake it. The elves have also set up a pretty nice firing position right here onto the battlefield. I mean, that does look pretty spectacular, I'm not going to lie. 3 units of Elven Archers volleying in to the hordes of forces along that battle line. Literally thousands upon thousands of soldiers. You've even got a small engagement going on right here as the 2 dwarves and 1 elf going after this force from the evil. However, he does manage to take down one of them, but immediately goes down himself, backstabbed. So another volley goes off, volley after volley pouring in. I can only imagine racking up a decent amount of kills, as well as I said. Firing almost into their side, must be doing some serious damage. Their main focus is pretty much going to be on them pikes as well, that you guys can see off in the distance. Trying to take down that and the shock infantry is always #1 priority. You can see all the arrows just landing perfectly right there. 62 kills, 30, 14. So not a ton at the moment. They still have half their ammunition left. And if they continue just to, evasive fire in here, they'll be doing a great job. Down the battle line, we can see that a lot of the forces of Dol Guldur are getting lower on their man count. Actually quite close to routing. If we take a look at the overall kill count as well, if it will go ahead and show me, sometimes it doesn't like to. But yeah, you can see Dol Guldur numbers are going down pretty fast. The dwarves, elves, and men have only lost just over 1,000 men, and they've almost killed 5,000, and that number is just going down quickly. I guess the arrow volleys are really racking up. However, that left flank is looking a little bit scary. If they can reinforce with some more shock infantry, that could be very good. We also have a unit of airborne axes as well. Crossbows making their way into the battlefield as well. Sorry guys, very laggy indeed. That'll be fine. We can just always go in slow mode. We'll go ahead and take a look at the less laggy battlefield, and then we can always go back. So some of the Vineland Guard as well, moving in. Always want to call these guys Vinland. They've been watching and reading too much Vinland Saga. But in the streets, under the shadow of the houses, the pikemen are going to be holding. However, in a really bad position right now, and that's going to probably allow the infantry to come around. Also, as well as that, oh my god, the Gondor glaives have come in here and actually able to go right around the side of the Lake Town Guard. They were fighting bravely, but they are no match for this shock infantry. No match at all. And this infantry is going to be able to eat them apart. More soldiers pouring into the city. And the city, I think, might be lost unless finally the elves have arrived. There's only 3 detachments, though. Only 3 detachments. I mean, for the most part, I kind of feel like this battle is going to go in favor of the elves and dwarves. How they are routing a lot, as we can see, but I mean, there's heavy casualties for the dwarves. They might just run out of men, honestly. It's very likely that could be a possibility. Because as you can see, like along this battle line, obviously you have the Elven Guard right there. What they called the something Hall Guardians right here. The Hall Guardians, who are pretty much untouched. But a lot of their reinforcement allies are dropping down. Basically every dwarven unit is looking very shaky. But you also have this Reclaimer unit as well. This is one of the other dwarven units. They look absolutely amazing. Look at their shields, the detail in their armor. They even have beard armor as well, which you know is serious when you see that. And even the Elven Archers are getting hammered by missile fire from the force of Dol Guldur. So I mean, there's just so many routing though. As the numbers do drop, obviously they have way more men, but a lot is routing. I'm surprised this cavalry hasn't been trying to be used through here. I assume they can't get through any of these, but I mean, so far the Dwarven line is holding, and even outnumbered 4-1. They are doing an amazing. Oh, is it 3-1? It's 3-1, right? Yeah, even being outnumbered 3-1, they're doing a great job. The cavalry is moving in though, and there you go. Finally, this Dwarven unit on the far right-hand side has been run down. The cavalry is pouring through, but there's not really much left of this cavalry, and immediately these guys need to go flying into the back here, and the enemy general does go down. I think they actually died to that crossbow volley from the units there, and then obviously Frandril himself is moving in there, charging into the Gondor blades and sending them back to the dark abyss whence they came. Not a bad charge whatsoever. Where is Dane? Dane should be here somewhere, right? I assume he's in the battle. I can't quite see the general though for Dane. It's not like Dane to be sitting back and defending. Oh, Dane is sitting back and defending. Oh, a shameful display. Why are you not leading your people, Dane? Get yourself stuck in. They need you on the front lines. I mean, I say they need them, but it doesn't really look like it. It seems like the forces outside the city have done an amazing job and are actually going to be able to take this one pretty comfortably. However, the fight for the settlement is going to be, tooth and nail. They're going to obviously have to reinforce. There's obviously that other army which is now entering the city from the rear position right now. These guys are moving in. You can also see the guards of the teeth as well. Our armor on their back is awesome. And these guys are now coming inside of the city. The elves are now locked into combat, trying to help reinforce whatever avenue that they can. And once again, Orc Warriors, no match for the elite defenders of the Woodland Realm. Able to take these guys down with karate kicks, slices to the neck, and stabs through the chest. But again, the job of the Orc Warriors isn't to win this battle, it's just to tire out the blades. And as soon as the Elven infantry gets a bit exhausted, that's when they make their move. And they really rack up some kills. But so far, 52 kills to 3 losses, not bad whatsoever. It's kind of like the bit from the movie when they're like, oh, it's just a couple hundred of goblin mercenaries, we'll be fine. And it's like 2 of them. And you're like, I don't know, I mean, I don't think even 2 people could take on that many. But hey, we don't talk about the movies, I guess. Does seem like the Uruk spears are falling back after realizing they couldn't penetrate the shield wall of the Vineland Guard. Again, actually made with their elven armor as well. Elven smiths crafting some of the amazing armor you do see. However, I'm sure this is going to be a short respite for them, as yeah, that 5th army does start to make their way in. We also have some archer fire though. The Bardings of the General up to 200 kills now, just volleying in and just picking off a few of these Orc warriors, really trying to reduce that number advantage. And yeah, as you can see, the defenses out here are basically completely won. The cavalry now coming in from the Men of Dale, the Regimental Dale Cavalry, with their lancers moving in, able to take down the Wraiths. And yeah, obviously going to be just charging off with Frangel himself moving in. Right into these Mirkwood trackers. And yeah, sending them back to Mirkwood itself. They really not stand a chance. And yeah, they made quick work of that. We still have a piece of artillery out here, which I can only assume, yeah, is setting fire to some of the city. But yeah, they need to get inside the city very quickly. I imagine the elves are already sending in some archers back into the city. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a big portion of this force then heading back inside, because they need it really. They're still, they still don't even have the number advantage. We're acting like they've done a great job, but as you can see, the numbers are actually dropping pretty rapidly for the good guys. But the forces of evil, Dogaldor and Mordor, have lost 10,000 men, so I mean, there's a bit of a weight up right there. But odd-wise, they've generally lost similar amounts of men, with the forces of evil losing a few too many. And they really just need to use their weight of numbers, which you can see they're doing. There's gaps in this Vineland Guard unit, and they're immediately going to go into the back of these Elven Warrior units. Really nice move, exploiting the gap. That is definitely not a pull through. There were, as you can see, there are serious gaps here. And they're just simply exploiting it. If that Vineland Guard had reformed, it could have been able to stop this. Also, in Rise of Mordor as well, if you try to pull through, you take so many casualties. And with the Orc morale being as fragile as it is, it might not have been a good idea to do so. See the Elven Sergeant there as well, and his awesome silver armor. Not wielding a shield, taking on an Orc warrior. And we see him just decapitate one. Smashing one down, pushing that shield to one side. Still unable to find the killing blow quite yet, as that Orc dives in deeper and deeper into this battle line against us, stabbed in the side by the ally. Very, very awesome. Oh my god, the Vineland Guard, are they still there? No, they are still there. They haven't really taken many casualties, as the fire arrows do start to descend upon this settlement. Also, it would not be a bad idea to come down here as well. We do also have one of the amazing shock infantry here. The chieftain units, I love the skulls on their back. We are engaging the Bardings, but even the Bardings, who are obviously one of probably the best archer unit in the game, and not too shabby at melee combat, cannot deal with a warlord unit like this. I mean, just look at their blades, just sheer slabs of metal, crafted for a single purpose, to burn Dale to the ground. Yeah, these guys are obviously archers. There's also support as well from the spears back there. But they'll hold for a little time, and more of the capture flags are also being taken right now. However, the main goal is obviously going to be that city centre. Finally, the Elven archers have arrived, and yeah, the majority of the forces are now rushing inside of the city as fast as they can. And they need to, because again, if the Orcs can get up here, which they're getting very close to, right? All they have to do is break this Elven sword unit, and then they can be in that city centre. If they capture that city centre, then it is all over. And all they have to do is basically block off these reinforcement entrances. Because yeah, if they take the city centre, they win by time. And all they have to really do, if they can, is like get around here and just block off these reinforcements from getting in. Because eventually, this unit of blades is going to die, probably fairly soon. And there are a few routed units that they've sent around here, again, just to kind of act as a screening unit. They just really need to try and hold the enemy at bay and stop them from getting into the city centre, because I think numbers-wise, they just don't have the advantage anymore. Yeah, you can see the numbers are just dramatically going down. I think their only chance of winning now is holding that city centre and claiming victory through time, but I think the Elves have maybe got a few too many men in. We also have Frangel as well coming in, supported by the Dalian Cavalry Regiment. And then these guys are going to be able to start, picking out raids into the back of this line, going after these units, start taking back these capture points. You can see that cavalry charge ripping through the line. And even the dwarfs are making their way inside of the city now. I mean, also, let's take a moment just to truly look at the sheer casualties here as well along this battle line. Literally, probably about 10,000 soldiers lay here. Mainly orcs, but also plenty of dwarves and elves. Oh, what a dense battle line that is. Seriously, man. Look at them all. That is crazy. It'd be awesome if one day in Total War we got like actual bodies piling up as well on the battlefield. That'd be pretty goddamn insane. As you can see, the Elkin Rider is actually taking back this capture point. Battalion regiment sent around here to probably go after this artillery piece right now. I'm also really impressed with the Bardings right now. I can't believe the Bardings have done such a good job at holding this line. Oh, archer fire as well. That's archer fire coming from the elves, volleying over the buildings, it would seem. Able to just support in any way they can. Yeah, I mean, the Bardings did a good job there. 378 kills on these guys. I mean, as I say, this is like the best arch unit in the game, so... Not to be surprised one bit. We are getting that cavalry coming in, and yeah, I think this is it now. The forces of good have pinned the forces of evil inside the city. There's no real escape for them. Able to take out artillery. And now that they are pinned in. Oh, who died? Did Frangel die? Oh no, Bard died. Bard the Dragon Slayer was taken down. Now his son must take up the kingship of Dale early, and maybe that'll prepare him for the force of the grand battle of the War in the East, when the War of the Ring does happen. Because I believe it is Bard's son, right, who is the King of Dale, or is it Bard's son's son? It's either one of those. And they have their final stand at the gates of Erebor. So goddamn awesome. I really hope someone makes a TV show out of it. The War in the East. It'd be so amazing. I mean, it probably wouldn't be, but they'd probably ruin it. Like, they're going to ruin the second age one that Amazon's making. But it would be very cool to have that final battle with Dane and Bard's son under the gates, giving their lives to defend as they get pushed back into the mountain. Some of these elves have found themselves surrounded, but only against some measly orcs. Nothing of real value as these shadows just appear under the houses. More reinforcements coming in, just having to block this. I love this as well. These guys are basically here in their shield wall to stop anyone from stopping the reinforcements coming in. The Dwarven army is absolutely battered as well. Very few units still remain. These Tomb Wardians are in reserve, but besides that, pretty much nothing exists. Is Dane's? Dane is also untouched as well. I'm sad about that. Actually got 2 kills. Dane himself just knocked over 2 orcs and was like, yeah, I've done enough this day. And his Royal Guard as well. The Barrack Guard as well. These guys are pretty insane. And some crossbows. My god, I can't believe how much I think, honestly, in this scenario, the elves probably had to retreat from that battle a lot sooner. So that then the dwarves will get pushed back. But then they would have probably just cleared up the city a bit quicker and then were able to reinforce a little bit later on. And as you can see, the rest of the forces are just pushing in now. Seems like they've been surrounded here. Frangel has committed himself to this battle, but there's just so many elves in the way now. I just don't really see a way that these guys can truly break through this battle line. And obviously when we have more reinforcements here, the Hall Guardians making their way in as well. Very slowly but surely, there you go. Finally breaking that formation to get their asses up to the front. With these guys closing in, they're such a high tier shock infantry unit, or I guess they're more of a halberd unit, but they're such a good unit they can really suck in. There's 2 units of them as well, so this is basically like a closing trash compactor walls right now on the Goldor Champions blades and other infantry. Now this is still still a lot of infantry. The forces of Goldor have set up some pikes here as well to stop anyone from just breaking in. So you have some pikes here to keep the enemy at bay, but obviously we do have Battalion Cavalry Regiment. And I think we're just going to come flying to the side here and just take these guys out before they can really turn up. Yeah, and in fact, cavalry can just get embedded in the line before them pikes go down. That'd be pretty good. If pikes do go down, and that's going to be enough to scare off the cavalry. Kill a handful of them as well. Oh my god, they're getting slaughtered by them pikes turning. But I think we just need like a couple volleys of missiles. I think that's exactly what these dwarven crossbows are here for. Just quickly finish these off. We also off in the distance as well. Have some of the archers. Oh my god, the elven archers on 487 kills. That is insane. That is so many men that they've managed to take down. My god, they've been taking no prisoners. And as you can see, this is truly the last fight now. So I'm trying to get a really good angle. It's a little bit dark under the shadows of the house. But you can still see a handful of them getting taken down. You also see the guards of the teeth there as well. Looking amazing. And there's also a dwarven head in the distance. The dwarven faces are so funny now. They just stand out so much more. Oh my god, look at that face as well. A face only a mother could love. And right now, they really just need to get some more soldiers like around the side. They've been able to deal with this. So now what they can do is that cavalry, battalion cavalry, can just start hammering and anviling this. Pushing through the streets and just trying to take them out. They are getting pushed back a little bit here, but the Orc warriors are being dealt with, so these reinforcements are coming in. I just need to kind of really push up and try and take them down. We also have that cavalry unit that's no real use in the city. However, I say that cavalry unit could be used to great effect smashing down here into the Iron Guard, the warriors of the Red Mountain, and other infantry. But now the dwarves have fully arrived. Now the shock infantry is going to get stuck in. More cavalry charges coming in. Able to really put pressure on here. And even the general is breaking right now. Yeah, there's really not much left on this battlefield. The city has been saved. They obviously still need to take back these capture points, but nothing that they really can't do. And yeah, right now it's just a true envelopment. Cavalry coming in. Surprised this battle's lasting for another 7 minutes. I don't really know exactly how. Maybe truly these soldiers do just hold to the bitter end. That's very bad. I mean, you guys can't see a thing there. You've got some of the Tomb Wardens as well moving in. What the? That Dale Cavalry Regiment has 831 kills. That is beyond disgusting. The Tomb Wardens have lost a couple men now, but up to 70 kills. Not a bad KDA, honestly. For 4 deaths, they're 84 kills. And yeah, the soldiers are seemingly routing very quickly now. That's one of the... Oh wait, our ally has been destroyed? Who? The forces of Dale? They lost everything? That cavalry regiment must have been the last thing remaining. Yes, Dale has been killed off the battlefield, but there's truly just nothing left now. Forces just making their way in. You guys can truly see the dwarves here as well push up again onto more of the orcs as they get charged in. Able to once again take these guys down. But too much trouble. The Orc Warriors just don't cut it. And I think the problem is, the Orc Warriors are great in a pitched battle because they can hold the enemy in place whilst other units do other stuff. But in a choke point battle like this, it's so hard to bring them through and use them. They're really good for like blocking the enemy. There's truly no hope left now. Okay, so the battle has now ended. The last remaining forces have routed from the battlefield. I'm very interested to see the total kills on some of these units here. Look at them Hall Guardian kills. Dumbledore really had no answer to them. Archers of over 500 kills. Pretty goddamn disgusting. Now, do keep in mind, obviously, the numbers for Force of Evil are extremely inflated, so... I mean, anything with 500 is still very good, but do just keep in mind that it obviously is on, weaker, well, not necessarily weaker, but, inferior forces. Even the forces here, but 800 kills on that Dalian cavalry, and then what's the highest for the dwarves? Nothing crazy, actually, on the dwarves. Just a lot of standard kills, kind of like a couple hundred here and there, but yeah, realistically, nothing actually that crazy. On Forces of Evil, what do we have there? Guards of the Teeth, 230 kills. That's probably their best unit, along with the Servants of the Eye. Dumbledore, I imagine the champions just could not get the damage in. It would seem. 77 kills there. Their Pike's doing okay. Okay, some of the Gold Orc Blades getting over 200 kills, which is actually really, really good. Considering there was only 5,000 of the attackers, and then this army, really struggling as well. I imagine Dumbledore will have some more units added to them to make them a little bit more competitive. But they got absolutely stomped this day. They did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle replay. If you did, make sure to put a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.